You just picked up your phone, not because anyone called, not because anything happened. You picked it up because your brain told you to, and it's been doing that all day. Most people check their phone about 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. And the wild part, half of those times there's nothing there. No message, no notification, nothing new, you checked anyway. Because this isn't about information, this is about dopamine. And your phone was built to exploit it. You've probably heard that dopamine is the pleasure chemical, that it makes you feel good. That's wrong. Dopamine doesn't make you feel good, it makes you want. There's a difference. Pleasure is what you feel when you eat your favorite food. Dopamine is what made you open the fridge in the first place. It's not the reward, it's the craving. A neuroscientist named Robert Sapolsky ran an experiment that showed this perfectly. He trained monkeys to press a lever when they saw a light. After pressing the lever, they got a treat. At first, dopamine spiked when the monkey got the treat. That makes sense. But after a while, something shifted. The dopamine spike moved. It stopped firing when the treat arrived. Instead, it fired the moment the light turned on, before the reward, during the anticipation. The monkey wasn't getting a dopamine hit from the food. It was getting it from expecting the food. This is exactly what your phone does. The notification sound isn't the reward, it's the trigger. The dopamine fires when you hear the ding, before you even look at the screen. Your brain is already flooding with anticipation, and most of the time, what you find isn't even worth it. A spam email, a random like, nothing important. But your brain already got its hit, so it'll do it again and again. But here's what makes it truly addictive. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner discovered something about rats that explains your entire relationship with your phone. He put rats in a box with a lever. When the rat pressed the lever, food came out. The rat pressed it when it was hungry. Normal. Then Skinner changed the rules. Sometimes pressing the lever gave food, sometimes it didn't. The reward became random, and the rats went insane. They pressed the lever compulsively, over and over, even when they weren't hungry. The uncertainty made it irresistible. This is called variable ratio reinforcement, and it's the exact same mechanism behind slot machines. You pull the lever, you don't know what you'll get. Maybe nothing, maybe jackpot. That uncertainty is what keeps you pulling. Your phone works the same way. You open Instagram, maybe there's a message from someone you like, maybe there's nothing. You open your email, maybe there's great news, maybe it's junk. You never know what you're going to get, and that randomness is what makes it impossible to stop. If your phone gave you exactly the same thing every time you checked it, you'd get bored in a day. Sometimes it gives you a hit, a compliment, a funny video, a message that makes your heart jump, and sometimes it gives you nothing. That unpredictability is the drug. None of this is accidental. The people who designed these apps knew exactly what they were doing. Asa Raskin, the guy who invented infinite scroll, later said he regretted it. He estimated that infinite scroll wastes about 200,000 human lifetimes per day. The red notification dot wasn't chosen randomly. Red triggers urgency in your brain. It's a color your eye can't ignore. Pull to refresh is modeled on a slot machine lever. You pull down, you wait, you see what comes up. Autoplay exists, so the decision to stop watching never comes. The default is always more. These aren't design choices. They're psychological weapons. So what does this do to your brain over time? Every time you get a dopamine hit from your phone, your brain adapts, it raises the bar. The same notification that used to excite you barely registers anymore. So you need more. More scrolling, more checking, more content. This is called dopamine tolerance. It's the same mechanism that makes drug addicts need bigger doses. And when you finally put your phone down, something weird happens. You feel restless, bored, anxious, not because anything bad is happening, but because your dopamine baseline has dropped below normal. Your brain is so used to constant stimulation that normal life feels flat. A conversation feels slow, a book feels boring, sitting quietly feels unbearable. Your brain has been rewired to need the constant feed. There's a term for this. It's called dopamine deficit state. You've borrowed so much dopamine from future moments that the present feels empty. So what do? 4 things. 1. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Every notification is a trigger pulling you back in. Keep calls and texts from real humans. Kill everything else. No app deserves to interrupt your life whenever it wants. 2. Use your phone in grayscale mode. Red notification dots lose their power when everything is gray. Your brain stops reacting to color triggers. It sounds stupid. Try it for 3 days. You'll feel the difference. 3. Create phone-free zones. Bedroom and dining table, minimum. No phone in bed, ever. Charge it in another room overnight. The first and last 30 minutes of your day shape everything in between. 4. Practice being bored. This sounds terrible, but boredom is where your brain resets its dopamine baseline. Sit in a waiting room without pulling out your phone. Walk without headphones. Let your mind wander. Your brain needs these empty moments to recalibrate. Every minute you spend bored is a minute your brain spends healing. Your phone isn't evil. It's a tool built by people who understood your brain better than you do. The question isn't whether you use your phone, it's whether your phone uses you. Drop a comment, how many times have you checked your phone today? Be honest. If you want to understand what your brain does when you're not paying attention, subscribe. We decode your brain every week.